She is on a mission to help 1 lakh ambitious professionals discover the purpose driven, high performing leader in them who thrives fearlessly through every challenge life has to offer and leaves a legacy of inspiring lives. She says, let's challenge your challenges. She's an ex HR professional turned ICF certified performance coach and has partnered with over 100 clients across 20 different countries so far. As a coach, she works with ambitious professionals feeling stuck and unfulfilled to create a purpose driven, high performing careers. And also, she assists organizations to create high performing leaders by transforming the way people think, feel, and act. And she's grounded in principles of positive intelligence, and her coaching framework supports the clients develop deeper self awareness and clarity about their goals. In addition to that, build resilience and holistic well being to harness full performance. Also, build confidence and self leadership skills through courageous actions which push them out of their comfort zone. In today's episode, let us chat with Shreshtha Mittal. This is the Guiding Voice podcast series, the Guiding Voice for a Better Future. Folks, this is your host Navin Samala, a fellow IT professional on a mission to shape the careers and lives of millions across the globe. And in every episode, we interact with industry experts, or thought leaders, or academicians, or coaches across the globe to drive some insightful conversations that will help each one of you learn some amazing stuff. And also, we share an interesting trivia or a fun fact towards the end. And folks, you will acquire more knowledge by tuning into the Guiding Voice than any other podcast in this space. Thank you so much for joining me. And today we are going to discuss a topic, transforming life by following your heart. And we are pleased to have Shrestha, part of TGV's journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. Shrestha, I'm super excited to have you join me today in the conversation, and hearty welcome to TGV.
Hi, Naveen. Thank you for this warm welcome. And hello, everyone. I'm really looking forward to sharing my thoughts with you through this platform today. So, yes, Naveen, as you said, let's get started.
Wonderful. So, Shrestha, HR professional turned performance coach. How did the transition happen? And what are the top 3 things that have helped you so far in your career?
So, the transition happened, it was never in plan. So, I never dreamt of being a coach in my life, in my ambition column. In school, I never used to write, I want to be a coach. So it just happened. And how it happened, of course, I was doing well in my HR profession and I have been doing it for last 10 years. But in 2019, cancer struck me. It was a stage 3 breast cancer. And when it struck me, I was forced to take a pause and reevaluate my life, relook at my life. And during that time, I got introduced to many more things. I got introduced to myself once again. So I discovered a lot of hidden potentials in me. I discovered the writer, the speaker, and also got introduced to coaching. And that's when my perspective towards myself also started shifting, not only towards how I see people, but also towards myself. That was a very deep journey for me, and I realized that how badly I want to serve from the other side of the table as a coach. And after a lot of deliberation, then I decided to leave my good going job and shift to being a coach full time. That's when the transition started. And in 2020, January, I left my job and switched to being a coach and adding value from there. And meanwhile, I also got certified with International Coaching Federation, which is gold standard in the world of coaching. And my coaching journey has been very fulfilling till now. And I'm sure and I know it's going to be fulfilling always because every hour that I spend in coaching, that makes me feel that this is the most right decision of your life that you have taken. Because one is that it happens naturally and it gives me a lot of fulfillment. So, yes, coaching and also parallelly motivational speaking is what keeps me going and keeps me feel fulfilled. So, that has been the journey. Top 3 things that have helped you so far. On that, I would say I will talk about the period from when the transition started for me. The first one was being high on self awareness, noticing what I like, what I don't like, what kind of emotions and feelings come to me with different experiences. When are the times when I get a kick, and when are the times I feel bored and demotivated. So being self-aware is something that helped me realize the importance of what I should be doing, what gives me joy, and where my natural talents come out without being pushed. Second one was about being curiosity driven, not being extra cautious about what if it goes wrong, rather being always positivity driven, that what if everything falls in place? What if it goes right? So during my HR stint as well in last 10 years, I changed multiple roles. I used to keep moving from project to project. There have been five different roles I had the opportunity to work on, and I could do justice to all of them because I was always driven by curiosity that what's going to happen next. I was not driven by that I have never done this, I don't know how to do it. Same happened with cancer. It was not that I knew how to face this, but yes, being curiosity driven that okay, let's see whatever happens, we will see what happens and we will try to do our best. So maybe this is what helped me in my life journey and career journey both, and that's what I ask people also around me to be not driven by fear of uncertainty, but by curiosity of what can come next. And the last one, under the top three things that you asked, Naveen, probably would be being courage driven. Courage to take unconventional paths. And this comes only when we have high self belief. We need to believe in ourselves to have this courage. It will not come from anywhere outside. So, yes, these are the top three things I would say.
Simply mind blowing. Self awareness and then curiosity, positivity, and having courage. And I could see passion in every word you have spoken. And in fact, I really love the concept that you love exploring new things and doing justice to it. And you mentioned about your overcoming cancer, right? That's not a small thing. And you are right in front of me and my audience and talking so bravely, which is very, very inspiring, and kudos to you. So, on that note, can you share with our audience how did you overcome this cancer? And probably people will go through a lot of mental trauma during that particular thing, because these kind of diseases, right? These are very big, and many a times people get so sick mentally first before getting into this physical stuff and all, right? So, how did you really overcome?
That's a question, I would say. And of course, the first thing was by getting good treatment, good infrastructure of medical facilities, good doctors. Second, of course, God's grace. Third, encouragement by people who were around me. And the last but most important one was about living in the present and not in the anxiety. This is
Hmm.
something I've learned from kids, Naveen, that how are kids, when kids are sick or even when they are undergoing surgery or they are in hospital or in ICU, they do not cry just because they are in the hospital, just because they have stitches. They cry when actually they are in pain. They do not cry in anxiety. But what do we adults do? We keep on crying and getting worried with the anxiety. Oh no, what has happened to me? What is going to happen to me in future? What will happen to them? So thinking all sorts of things, we make ourselves worry and worry in future rather than being happy and giving our best to what has come to us, what challenge has come to us. And this is something I learned from the kids, I learned from my son. And I thought that that was one thing that always stayed with me during my journey because my son has also been through one of the life-threatening surgeries in very early stage of his life, and that made me realize, seeing him being so resilient in that entire journey, made me believe that if he can do, I am nothing in front of him to bear what is coming to me, and that gave me a lot of courage and positivity that I can also choose to live in the present. It's in my hand. The choice is always in our hand that whether we choose to worry ourselves or we live the moment that has come to us now. So that is what helped me keep my anxiety at bay because rest of the work the doctors were doing and my family was doing by giving me good food. And my responsibility was to support them by not making them lose. their stamina, their strength, mental and physical strength to support me well. Because in your cancer journey, it's not only you, but your caregivers are also equally involved and they also need support. So my responsibility was to think positive, which will help me in healing myself well, to do whatever was possible in that journey from my end to support myself, whether it was good rest, whether it was eating good and healthy food without saying that I don't feel like having it. It's not helping me. It's not going inside me, but just forcing myself to eat when it was needed by giving courageous challenges to myself, by stretching out, doing exercises, going out, focusing on my well-being, my self-care, the way it was needed without someone asking me for it. So practicing self-leadership during my challenge was the first step because once I stood up, people around me got the courage to support me even better. So you have to stand up for yourself. That is very important if you want to beat any challenge of yours. And you have to live in present. The presence of what should I do now? How can I make the most of what has come to me rather than living in anxiety? So that is what it was. And even if I was palliative, or even if someone is palliative means that when you know that your death is inevitable. When you don't know what is going to happen is a different case, but when you are sure you know death is inevitable, then also I would say you have a choice. You have a choice to not spoil your present and not die before the death actually hits you. If I'm living in worry now, I would say I'm already dead. What am I doing with the life now? So I need to progress till the death actually comes. So this is the mantra I follow in every challenge, and this is what probably helped me overcome cancer too.
Amazing stuff, actually. Like, I'm getting goosebumps. And uh, this news about your son undergoing life-threatening surgeries, something again very I don't know what to say here, like, but it's very inspiring. And you learned from your son, and you are being resilient, and you're trying to convince people around you. I think that speaks volumes about your bravery, and thank you for sharing that note. And Shrestha, now talking about today's topic, like you said, let's talk about transforming life by following your heart, and what is the motive behind that.
The motive behind that is that having undergone this journey myself, where I transitioned my career, my choices of what I should be doing with my life, because one fine day I decided to follow my heart. And that has created an entire transformation, not only for me, but also thousands of people around me whose life I could impact. And all that difference I know could come because I decided to follow my heart. We all are born with one unique thing, at least one unique thing that differentiates us from others. It just is on us that when and how we find what is that unique thing about us which can help us create impact larger than life. And the day we realize that the life, the quality of life, your experience of life, your outlook towards your life changes. So you take any personalities around you, maybe or you can say Mother Teresa, for example. She was doing what she felt gives her joy. You take Virat Kohli. He is doing what gives him joy. You take people you meet in your job and who are doing well, who are excelling and consistently doing that. They are doing what they love doing. Of course, there are people who feel that probably I need to do it to earn money. But there are different set of people who also believe that I want to do it. I love doing it. The way you are running your podcast, I love doing it. So this is how when we feel we follow our heart, the good things, nothing can stop from following you. So I have seen the result of it that when we follow our heart, only the good things and positivity follow. It may take some time, it may not come instantly, but it will definitely follow. And second important thing is that you will be able to act to your full potential. You will be able to uncover yourself to your 100% only when you are following your bliss. You might have heard of the word ikigai. There is a famous book by that name, Ikigai. What does that mean? Ikigai means follow your bliss. If you want to be happy, if you want to be successful in life, follow your bliss. That is what gives you joy, what the world needs, what you are passionate about, and what also makes you get money, right? So, because everything is important in this entire circle that they show in Ikigai, and that is what the essence of it is, that you follow your heart if you want to be really happy and successful in life, rather than doing things maybe in peer pressure or parental pressure or in the self inflicted pressure that maybe this is what I should be doing.
Great. Wonderful. And I'm getting inspired by each and every word that is coming out of you. Now, let's talk about this well being part of it. Like, how did you take better care of your own well being, and also at the same time assuring people around you, saying that, okay, I'm well and I'm recovering, and instilling that kind of confidence amongst them as well.
So, well being, first of all, let's understand this term what well being is.
Hmm.
For me, for 3 decades of my life, well being or health always was synonymous with my physical health. That means if I am exercising well, if I am eating healthy, and if I am looking well, I mean, appearing fit, not obese probably, and my weight is under the bracket that it should be, that meant health for me. But only after cancer hit me, I realized that, oh my God, I was so wrong. Only physical health is not the definition or the yardstick of your entire well being. There is a lot more that goes into it. There are so many stressors I was still having inside me in spite of being physically healthy. And that is why when I got cancer, people around me and even I was shocked. How can you get it? You have been so healthy. You have been so fit. So that made me think because I also thought about that only. I have been investing time to exercising almost consistently and I was fit, but still it hit me. That means something was wrong. What was that? And when I went into that discovery and researched about it, I discovered that there are many more reasons which can add stresses in our body. There is something called mental health, of course, which has come to forefront with the pandemic as well. There is something called your emotional health, and there is something called your spiritual health. All three are also equally important for your well-being. Why? Mental health, while physical health is about your body, mental health is about your thoughts. That is how you are perceiving the people and the things around you. When you are interacting with your environment, what are the thoughts that come to your mind with that particular situation? Emotional health is about your feeling. The feeling which get generated from that thought are your feeling, and we are nothing but our feeling. We do things that make us feel happy. We don't do things, we stay away from things, or we are not able to do well in the things which do not give us happy feeling. Something that make us feel angry, disgusted, hatred, envious, guilty, right? All these feelings are the driving reason for what we do and how we do. You notice whenever you want to do something, you will do it only because you get good feeling, good hormone flow into you when you are thinking about it. So there is something called emotional well-being. Being aware of what gives us what kind of feelings is absolutely important for us if we want to show up to our full potential, not only in our personal but also in our professional. And the last one is your spiritual well-being. Now, spirituality, sometimes people take it a little wrongly. They think that maybe it is about some religion, being religious or praying. No, it is not about that. Spirituality means is connecting with yourself, knowing yourself. See, there's no point of you knowing lot of maybe things around you, trying to know people around you, trying to know environment or to know the mythology or the religious scriptures around you until and unless you know yourself better. The first and foremost person you should be knowing well should be you yourself. Because you live in your body for 24 hours, all
Yeah.
your life. And the one person who will come to your rescue when you are not in a good state would be your body, your thoughts, your feelings. So why don't you or why don't we connect with ourselves? And for me, I realized that there was something called spiritual stressor. They were a lot in my body. Why? Because I was always feeling in dissonance. I was feeling disconnected with what I was doing versus what I wanted to do, maybe in professional or a personal space. I was getting kicks. here and there by performing well and delivering well. But it was not something, for me, the meaning of life was bigger than that. That what is that am I supposed to do? What is the purpose of my life? It is not aligned probably with what I want to do. And realizing and understanding what are our core values, what is the purpose that drives us, what is the impact we want to create the world. These are some of the existential questions which may bother some of us. If this is the question, if these are the questions which bother you, you must definitely think about your spiritual well-being and how to get better at that. So while I got introduced to these concepts, I became more cognizant about them. I started taking more care of them. My mental health, I have started being watchful of my thought, first of all. Instead of correcting, the first important thing is that we be watchful of what am I thinking in such a moment? What am I feeling in these moments? And why are such feelings coming to me? Why are such negative thoughts coming to me? And only then you can work on replacing them with the positive one. So this was a way of me to start working on my healing from inside. Because the science says when the stresses are high in your body, the immunity of your body goes low, and that is when the diseases start showing up. Because your bad cells are not getting killed by your immune system. They start growing more and more in any one part of your body or in your entire body. That is why addressing your stressors is very important. So, this is how I decided to heal myself. And that is why career transition, I would say, was one of the steps I took towards my spiritual well being. To be aligned completely with what gives me joy, what I consider my purpose, what gives me fulfillment. And that's what I support people with my coaching as well, to help them realize and connect with their purpose, their core values. And that is when you can create a high performing career. So this is what I do because I've seen this life for myself and the kind of results that kind of thinking and exploration can bring
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. This is the real lead by example. Since you have undergone the transition by yourself and now you being on the other side of the table, yeah, that makes absolute sense. And yeah, wonderful, wonderful conversation so far. Now, Shrestha, see, you said we need to follow the heart, okay, to take charge of well-being and success, but it is not that easy, right? We come across so many barriers, and also what will be your suggestion in terms of following our heart to take care of well-being and all?
So let me break this up for you. Let's discuss about some small steps and maybe small actionable that you can take from your end. The first one being invest in creating self awareness. Like I said, spend time in knowing yourself more. Like what do you like? What do you dislike? What are your core values dear to you? What is your purpose? What are your strengths, your improvement or your development areas? Spend time in understanding, answering this question, who am I? How? I mean, some people might think that, oh my God, this is so much. How do I do it? Or how can I know everything about myself? So maybe let's take small steps, micro steps. The first one will be take the pen, paper, or just get on your laptop or your computer and start journaling. Maybe if it is for only 5 minutes per day, in the morning or in the night before you wind up for the day, start journaling. And what do you cover in the journal? Not the activity that you did during the day. It's not a checklist. Tuck, 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 I did this, I did that, and all that. No, it's not that. It's about what you did during the day and what kind of feelings got generated. How did you feel about this thing happening in your life? If for a simple rule of thumb, something as a term my mentor introduced me to, you can say glad.
Yeah.
Glad is about gratitude, glad is about learning, achievement, and delight. So, thing that you felt grateful for in the day, something new that you learned, something that you achieved in that day, and something that gave you happiness in that day. Just note that down in your journal and do it consistently. Or if you don't want to do it, just but pick up the pen and paper and definitely pour your thoughts. Empty yourself in the journal and let the things which are inside you flow freely into it. I do this especially, I do this every time, every day, in fact, yes, but especially when I am feeling angry or I'm feeling lost. in my mind because this helps me empty my thought and create space for positivity to be existing now in my mind and my heart. So that is why journaling is important because when you put on paper or when you talk to someone about what you are going through, you are able to hear yourself or you are able to read yourself. And that is the moment when your blind spot open, a window into your own self open. And you are able to, there are many people, in fact, in the coaching space, the clients have said, oh my God, I just said that. Where was it in me? I never knew that this is the thought that was in me. That is the beauty of it. When you write something down or when you say something to someone in front of you, you realize this was inside you. So, yes, the first step, start journaling. Second, take 2 minutes daily to sit with your eyes closed and observe your thoughts. Observe where your mind is wandering. People think that I am not able to stay still while meditating. I'm not able to focus on one thing while meditating. There is no need to do that. Let your mind flow wherever it is flowing, but observe self control. You do not flow with where your thoughts are flowing. You stay at a distance and observe your thoughts coming, thought A coming and passing by, thought B coming and passing by. Let them flow and be observant of what kind of thoughts keep on coming to your mind. This might give you a glimpse, this might open a window into what are the things that you want for yourself to happen. This might give you a glimpse into the thing that give you anxiety. This might give you a glimpse into the thing that how you think about certain situation. Just be an observer at the third person of your own thoughts. So do these two things and you will be able to create higher self-awareness. Why? Because once you are aware that, okay, I like doing this, maybe I like writing. If something like that, maybe example, this is just an example that you discover that I like writing. I keep on thinking about writing this, writing that, and I get so much joy when I'm writing. Maybe I should start doing it more. Once you are self aware, you will automatically end up taking an action step towards it.
Yep.
So, no action can come without being aware that what do I really want. Do only this much, and I can guarantee that with consistent practice, you will start smiling more frequently and start feeling lighter in a week itself. And once this starts happening, success will follow you. And during this time, if the negative thoughts try to overpower and dominate your mind, that how can you do that? How can you start thinking positive? How can you start acting on it? Stop it immediately and distract yourself. Don't let the negativity seep in you. Remember, negativity will come because when you are going to do something good, demons are bound to arise. But remember, good things will come to us when the environment within us is positive. And the responsibility to make that environment amongst inside ourselves positive is our own responsibility. That's what self leadership is.
Wow, fabulous. And yeah, I could see that we need to just focus more on the positive aspects and what we really want to attract and keep anxiety at the bay, right? That's the key takeaway out of it. And now let's talk about outperforming the challenges. I think you've created this 3-step formula that worked for you to thrive uh, and overcome your own challenges without compromising the well being. So, could you shed some light around that?
Yeah, sure. So this is the three-step formula that I speak about, I share in my speaker sessions too. And this is basically I call WMA. W for willingness, M for mindset, A for action. Now, what does that mean? Willingness is about having that self-will that I want to overcome my challenge. Not because it can be as simple as maybe thinking about one particular entrance exam. You have an entrance exam coming in front of you, and you feel that, oh, everyone wants me to do that. My parents think that it is required for my good career. My peers are doing it. That is why I should do it. But do you yourself have the willingness? Or maybe just think about the job. You might be at a mid to senior level professional. There is a next level of growth to maybe a VP that is coming up. But your heart, that is always somewhere else. You are always thinking about your side hustle that you want to do rather than the promotion, the growth to VP. But you know that this is the logical next step for me. People expect it from me, and also sometimes they think that if I don't get it, it might make me feel of less value because I have been doing it for so long. And because of that self-created pressure, sometimes we put ourselves into a artificial challenge that is something not made for us. So you need to first discover that is there a willingness from your end itself? Do you want to do it? What is your anchor? What is your purpose? Why you want to do it? Why you want to do what you are setting to do now? Do you really want to overcome this challenge of working on for this particular career growth? Or is your heart somewhere else? So create that, understand your willingness, create that willingness for whatever challenge is there. That if I want to overcome this challenge, what is my purpose? What is that I want to achieve by overcoming this challenge and why? If I help you understand this with an example, in my cancer journey, when cancer hit me, I didn't know what the future entailed, how long I'm going to be alive, and whether do I have days, weeks, months, or do I have decades to go. But in that moment, when I saw my death, one thing I realized that I asked a question to myself that would I be proud of myself when I am in my deathbed tomorrow? The answer that came was no, I will not be. Because there was so much that I wanted to do. I wanted to do professionally, I wanted to do in personal life. I wanted to be there with my son, watch him grow. I wanted to grow old with my husband. And all those things were starting to fading away from me. And that's the moment I realized my purpose to fight cancer, that why I want to not give in to cancer, why I want to be on the other side of what I have today, because I want to be there with them. That was the purpose that used to pull me even on the baddest of days. Even on the days when I had a lot of physical pain, when I could not really bear what was happening, those were my anchors that used to pull me out. That no, tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow you will be able to sit. Tomorrow you will be able to be with them. So all this was my anchor, which was creating a willingness to pull myself out of the challenge. So willingness is the first step to build your resilience, to outperform your challenges. The second one is the mindset. Mindset is about building the confidence on the go. Why I call this? Because there are many situations that will come in your life where you would already not know that how to overcome it. There are certain things where for which you have to build the confidence on the go. For me, it was a journey with cancer. Of course, it is also the journey with us when we take up a new role in our profession. We don't know how to work on it, but still we jump into it and we do it. So sometimes you have to build your confidence on the go and be ready for it. Do not degrade yourself down thinking that I don't have the confidence to overcome it. So give yourself courageous challenges that will make you feel that today you were able to overcome it. That means you can do it. Probably you can do it. So give yourself challenges which will make you build your confidence and boost your mindset, boost the positive thoughts in your mind to overcome your larger elephant. The last one is the action. Actions is more about not just, so you have the willingness. Someone may have the willingness that yes, I want to overcome it. Someone may have the confidence that yes, I can overcome it. But all is futile until and unless you are taking action on it. You have to say, I am doing it now. So once you take the action, then only you will be able to outperform your challenges. And that's what this entire framework says. And of course, I can go in detail in this. But yes, that will take an entire session.
I get it. It's more about the willingness, mindset, and action. Wonderful.
Yes.
So, yeah, I would love to really dive deep into that concept maybe in the future episode because this is going to help our audience as well. And as you rightly mentioned, it need not be dealing with the dreadful diseases or something, but dealing with some career transition. And especially, I would like to talk about one trend, like having observed many of my friends working for a single company for so long, like say 10 years, 15 years, and suddenly if they were to shift to a different company, right, they are pushed into a zone which is not so comfortable and all, and that will lead to some trauma and all. So those kind of situations as well, we can apply this WMA, right? All right. So, yeah, this has been fantastic conversation, Shrestha, and I'm loving every bit of it. But let's add some spice to the episode. If you are okay, I'm going to kick off a quick rapid fire questions wherein you can answer them very crisply. Okay.
Sure.
Wonderful. All right. So let me fire the very first bullet out of the rapid fire. So, Shrestha, what has been your childhood fantasy?
Well, one of the childhood fantasies was to rock and roll in Disneyland, but this childhood fantasy could never get true until now. So it's going to get true only now in a couple of months, finally. So yes, that was one of my childhood fantasies.
And now you're going to rock and roll along with your son. That's the best part.
Yeah,
So the wait is worth, right?
weight is good. Yes.
Great. All right. So let's move on. And what is one best advice that you have received, or probably what's the best advice that someone has given you so far?
The best advice, maybe instead of advice, I would share one question. So I belong to the coaching fraternity, and wherein we believe in not giving advices but asking powerful questions.
Hmm.
And one question that when I explored coaching for the first time, and that was shared with me was, so who is stopping you? When I was thinking all about the negativities and the things which are not good in my life, someone asked me that who is stopping you from changing? And that was really eye-opening for me. I realized I suddenly felt that empowerment that no, there's no one stopping me. It's just me thinking in my mind probably, and I can stop thinking like that. Maybe let me go this way. If this is not helping, let me explore the other way. And once I started doing that, I discovered how when we work with the circle of influence that we have, things start changing. If you would have heard of that concept in Stephen Covey's
Yeah.
book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, he talks about the circle of influence. So when I started realizing that there's no one stopping me, I could work with my circle of influence and make my circle of influence grow bigger and bigger and bigger, such that I could create difference to thousands of lives. So this is the question, and not the advice I will ask you today.
Yeah.
Who is stopping you from pursuing your dreams?
Great. So yeah, on that note, let me ask you, what has been your best dream so far?
I would say I'm living my dream and progressing towards my dream already.
Fab.
Yeah, but for now, if I have to still say that what is my current dream, probably one of the current dream, I would say want to be giving a speaker session and want to be coaching people face to face and in such a great impact that it creates that value for them that helps them leave a legacy for themselves. That is one in the speaking phase to give a session face to face on an international stage with some thousands of people over there, making my country proud, my people proud, and most importantly, myself proud to show them that the power is within them. If I could do that from a big stage, I would I would say that that is one big thing accomplished.
I'm pretty sure it will happen very soon, and wish you all the very best on that.
Thank
Now,
you.
now let's talk about the funniest moment in your life so far. We have been discussing a lot of serious stuff, getting this, dealing with cancer, overcoming all these fears, and then being resilient and all. So, what has been the funniest moment?
Well, I would say funniest moment keep on coming daily when you have a toddler around, and there is no one I would be able to pinpoint. There are so many of them, but yes, when you have your toddler around, you keep on smiling and you keep there is something, even if they fall, even if they do something that becomes funny. So yes, I would say be around children, or sometimes having, obviously it may not be a possibility for in each and every case. Be around pets, be around children, and that will fill your life with a lot of happy hormones.
Yeah. Now that my kids are grown up, but I can relate to being around pets. I recently adopted a lab, and recently she turned one, and we celebrated her birthday, and she was conscious that day, and she has been very active. We bought her a dress, and she's not leaving the dress at all. I was so
Oh my God.
enthused. Wonderful. So yeah, great rapid fire so far, and let me fire the last bullet out of it. Shrestha, given a chance, what is one electronic gadget that you would like to see or invent yourself?
Well, I would want to have a gadget which can auto transcribe our thoughts and put them in the right categories. So, for example, if I'm thinking about business, automatically it transcribes and put them in a folder in my laptop in the business folder. Or if I'm thinking about a particular topic related to coaching, it puts that thought about in that particular folder. So it will save me hard work in terms of doing this task, getting back from thought to the written work, and also it will help me prevent the forgetfulness. So, what was that I was thinking? Oh no, I don't remember. What do I write then? So, the moment thought comes, it should automatically get into that folder to help me when I need it. So, this is what it will be a great thing if we have. Yes,
Interesting. And I can give you one other use case from your HR hat actually. Especially when you are hiring college grads, they are not really sure in terms of which discipline to choose, right? So depending on their thoughts, we can segregate the candidate belongs to data science, somebody is
yes,
related to business analyst kind of thing, right? Yeah, good one.
of course, it's applicable everywhere. See, just see how it's interesting and easier our life will become when we have one less thing to worry about.
Yeah, I agree. I second you. All right. So, yeah, fabulous rapid fire. And before I let you go, one final question for today's conversation, Shrestha. What will be your one piece of advice to those aspiring to begin their careers or even lives?
My one piece of advice would be believe in yourself that you can do it. You don't need any success mantra. You don't need any probably the role models. Just believe in yourself because, as I said, all our powers lie within. We all have been blessed with that infinite potential. We all are a part of that universe which has created all of us equally. But it has left because obviously universe also wanted to have some fun. It has left it on us to discover that hidden potential. And you have it. We know it. So believe in yourself. Think about that the opportunities you have that has come to you just because it knows that you can do it. Be curious, be courageous. Curious not only to succeed but also to fail. Courageous to make most of your successes as well as your challenges. Surround yourself with positive stories, people who want despite odds, and your challenges will start looking small to you, but never stop to believe in yourself.
Perfect. I think this has been very energetic conversation, and I'm going to remember this conversation for quite a long time, and I thoroughly enjoyed speaking to you, Shrestha. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for being part of the Guiding Voice journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe.
Thank you, Naveen, for this opportunity, wonderful opportunity to share my thoughts. I loved it.
All right. Yeah, pleasure hosting you. And folks, before we move into a trivia section, here is a small request to you. In case if you haven't subscribed to us, please subscribe from the app where you have tuned in from so that you'll be notified about all the future episodes. Also, if you have loved this episode and found it useful, please share it with at least three of your friends or colleagues who can benefit from the guiding voice. And your friends will acquire new knowledge and learn some new stuff like you, and we will gain a few new subscribers. Thank you so much in advance. Before I again jump into the trivia, let me acknowledge few folks who have really made my day for the last 3 to 4 days between 13th April to 16th April. Like we have received 7 5-star ratings on Apple Podcast. Thank you so much. Govind, Chitra, Kiran, Murali, Iqbal, Maya Thomas, and Shirod. These are the Apple IDs I could see. And unfortunately, I do not have an option to read out your full name. But folks, thank you so much for providing your rating and review. This is going to help us move forward with much accelerated speed, and we are going to bring you more and more useful content to you. Thank you so much once again. And folks, in case if you haven't reviewed our podcast or rated, request you to provide your rating or reviews on Apple Podcasts so that we'll be able to reach more and more new audience. All right, now let's hop into the trivia segment of today's episode. And today we spoke a lot about following your heart and then dealing with some deadly diseases, uncomfortable situations, undergoing mental trauma, so on and so forth. Let's also spend some time understanding mental well-being. And there are certain common signs of mental health issues. Like, in case if you want to recognize if somebody is undergoing mental health issues, probably you can look at them in these aspects, like whether they're having extreme mood swings or changes in eating habits, or if they're worrying too much, or if they're really afraid of something and having difficulty in concentrating or avoiding friends or social activities, then it is a sign that there is a potential for mental health issues. And half of all mental illnesses show early signs before a person turns 14-year-old, and 3 by 4th of mental illnesses begin before age 24. And more than 1 in 4 adults living with serious mental illnesses also struggles with substance abuse. All right, so that is so worrisome. And definitely it is our responsibility to look around people, and in case if we see any of these signs, it is better to consult the doctor or the psychiatrist or maybe some coaches to get the person healed. All right, and today we have gone through the story of Shreshtha Mittal. Like, she has been a HR professional and now a proud professional coach, performance coach, who is helping people succeed in their careers and develop their leadership skills. And not only that, she has successfully overcome cancer, and she has also seen her kid undergoing life-threatening surgery and all, which means she has undergone a lot of stress, but she was able to demonstrate resilience and is able to inspire our TGV audience by joining us today. Likewise, there may be few other inspiring personalities around you. In case if you come across any of them, please tag us along. Just send me a note on any of the social media networks, or you can shoot an email at theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com. That's all for today. Thank you so much for joining me. So this is your host, Naveen Samala, just a fellow IT professional and a passionate learner on a mission to make a difference in the lives of millions across the globe. Until next time, bye-bye.